Okay, so today we're going deep on LinkedIn personal branding.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some really cool research from Kevin Brake.
Awesome.
And this is really for anybody who wants to level up on LinkedIn. Whether you are actively job hunting or just want to boost your professional presence.
Right. And it's funny because so many people just treat LinkedIn like it's just an online resume.
Oh, totally.
And, Kevin Brake's research really shows that there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, you don't want to just be like throwing up your resume and calling it a day. You really want to think of this as like, okay, how do I actually build my brand on LinkedIn so I can stand out? I can attract opportunities.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. Like when you meet somebody in person, you're not just handing them a piece of paper with your work history.
Yeah.
You're, talking to them. You're showing your personality. You're, letting them get to know you.
Exactly.
And it should be the same on LinkedIn. You want to use it as a platform to really showcase, what makes you valuable.
Yeah. And Kevin Brake really emphasizes that.
He does.
He talks about how a strong personal brand can help you attract those opportunities and also build those valuable connections.
And those connections can be so important. Like you never know who you're going to meet on LinkedIn.
Right.
It could be, a future employer, a future client.
A mentor.
A mentor.
Someone you can learn from.
Yep. And by, putting yourself out there and really building that brand, you're making those connections more likely to happen.
So where do we start? I mean, there's so much you could do on LinkedIn, but where do we start?
Well, I think the first thing is making sure your profile is top-notch.
Okay, so like back to basics a little bit.
Yeah, kind of, but not just the bare minimum. You really want to make sure it's telling your story in a compelling way.
So what does that actually mean? Like, what should we be thinking about when we're crafting our profile?
Well, Kevin Brake highlights some really important elements, like having a professional headshot.
Right.
A really engaging headline.
And a detailed summary that kind of, sums up your experience and your goals.
Exactly. And I think, people sometimes underestimate the power of a good headshot.
No, I know I've seen some bad ones out there.
We all have, right? But seriously, it's the first thing people see, and it really does make an impression.
And Kevin Brake found that profiles with professional headshots actually get 10 times more views.
Wow, that's huge.
It is, right?
It's like, would you trust a business with a blurry, low-resolution logo?
Probably not.
Probably not. So it's the same with your LinkedIn profile. Your headshot is your first impression. You want it to convey professionalism and approachability.
So good headshot check. But what about that headline? I feel like a lot of people just put their job title.
Oh, yeah, I see that all the time, and it's such a missed opportunity.
Right, because Brake says that headline can have a huge impact, even though it's just like a tiny little space.
Yeah. It is a tiny space, but people make snap judgments. They're scrolling through, they're looking at tons of profiles, and your headline needs to instantly convey who you are and what you bring to the table.
Like a mini elevator pitch.
Exactly.
Okay, so we got a good headline, a good headshot. What about that summary section?
The summary. This is where you can really tell your professional story.
Okay.
Talk about your experiences, your accomplishments, your goals, and, don't be shy about highlighting your successes. Brake's research actually found that profiles with detailed summaries, especially ones that weave in quantifiable results, are significantly more likely to get contacted by recruiters.
Oh, wow. So like really put the numbers in there.
Exactly. Don't just say, I increased sales by 20%.
Okay, I like that.
Really give them those concrete details.
But it's not all just, bragging about your accomplishments, right?
No, of course not. It's also about showing your personality. Your passions, what makes you unique. People connect with authenticity, and your summary is a great place to let that shine through.
Okay, so we've nailed the profile. We've got a great headshot, catchy headline, and a really detailed and authentic summary.
We're on a roll.
What's next?
Well, now it's time to move beyond just being on LinkedIn and actually start using it actively.
Larry.
And a big part of that is content creation.
Content creation. Oh, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, it's so important. And, a lot of people get intimidated by it, but it doesn't have to be this huge, overwhelming thing.
Yeah, I feel like that's me of like, oh, content creation.
Right, exactly. But Kevin Brake's research actually offers some really helpful guidance. He found that consistency is key.
So you don't have to be like creating these amazing videos every day or...
No, not at all. Even sharing one well-chosen article a week along with your own brief commentary can make a big difference.
Okay, that feels doable.
Right.
So what about types of content? Is it better to do those short, snappy posts or those long, deep dives?
Well, that's where it gets interesting. Break's research actually reveal that while those short posts are great for quick updates and sparking conversations, long-form articles actually tend to generate more engagement and establish you as a thought leader.
So mix it up.
Exactly. Mix it up, share a quick thought one day, and then dive deep into a topic with a longer article the next.
Okay, I like that.
And don't forget about visuals, images, videos, they can really help your content stand out.
Right, because we're all visual creatures.
Exactly.
So we're creating content, we're putting it out there, but then we have to actually engage with other people too, right?
Oh, absolutely. You can't just throw your content out into the void and hope for the best.
Right.
You got to comment on articles that resonate with you, join industry-specific groups, participate in discussions.
And Break actually found that people who actively engage on LinkedIn are more likely to be seen as thought leaders in their fields.
It makes sense, right? If you're out there sharing your insights, connecting with others, you're going to be more top of mind.
Totally. And plus you're building those relationships. That could lead to all sorts of opportunities.
Absolutely.
So it's like a win-win.
It is.
So to recap, it really all comes back to this idea of creating a personal brand that really reflects who you are and what you bring to the table.
Exactly. A great headshot, a compelling headline, a detailed summary, valuable content, active engagement, all those pieces work together to create that powerful professional presence on LinkedIn.
It sounds like a lot, but it really is all within our control.
It is. It's exciting. You get to decide how you want to be perceived by your network, what kind of opportunities you want to attract.
And if you are ready to kind of take your LinkedIn to the next level,
Yeah.
we're going to link some resources in the show notes, like LinkedIn itself and the Muse. They've got some great tips and articles.
Definitely check those out.
Awesome. So go forth and build that amazing personal brand.
You got this.